Well, hello, everybody. It is Wednesday afternoon. I hope everybody is doing good. Looks like we're on. Okay, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. It's just terrible weather here. And we've got a comment from Siberia. I'm always complaining about our weather. Wow, we'll get to that. But hope everybody's having a good week. Wednesday afternoon, we're over the hump. We are on our way to a weekend. Hallelujah. That's kind of cool because all week I think, I'm looking forward to the Wednesday. So that kind of makes the first half of the week go by a little bit faster. I hope everybody feels that way. That's very cool. A little bit of help. Mondays and Tuesdays. My opinion all along is let's just make Monday a weekly holiday because Mondays. I mean, come on. All right. So hope everybody's doing good. If you're new to us, y'all, welcome to the family because you have just walked into a bunch of friendly people. So, y'all, it's a pleasure to be here. Look forward to this every week. Uh, we're going to talk about mallets and malls this week. And if you're new, if you're seasoned, you probably snooze fest. But if you're new, maybe this will help because one mallet will do everything you need. And in fact, I've got a couple of samples over here. So you were going to talk about that, but that kind of leads me to a point here about organization. Okay, so if we happen to do a product or a leather of the week twice, my fault. Okay, my fault. Because, okay, well, here's the thing. So this is the scripts from the last, I don't know, couple of months of lives. So, um, well, there it is. I was looking for that last week. Do I need to go any further on the fact that I'm not terribly organized? Did I just prove my point? Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is that I've got created a document so I can list, each week what's our product of the week, theme of the week, tool of the week, so we don't duplicate these. That lasted 4 weeks. Yeah, it does. So if we do something twice, we're just going to go with it's so good it needs to be mentioned again, as opposed to my total lack of organization, which I don't. I don't have a lack of organization. I just don't want to do it. That's the truth of the matter. And I've always joked that we've got, on one end we've got the artists. They're not slamming artists, but they're not, and on the other end is the accountants, right? Numbers. No, I'm kind of somewhere a little off center, right? Kind of a little more towards that side. I can absolutely be organized, but I just don't want to be. But nonetheless, it's good to see everybody here. Uh, every week I go through every comment. Like Wednesday morning, first thing in, I go through the comments and I'll paste and copy, mainly for folks who are new. If I haven't seen your name, or like a good comment or a funny comment, absolutely. We start off with a good one today. But I want to say hello to everybody. I want to comment on every comment. I want to answer every question. So this morning I went through all of this, 3 pages. 3 pages I want to say hello to. Like, oh man. Y'all, if I don't get to say hello, please forgive me. I'll do my best next week too. But already, Jerry King, Nashville, glad you're with us. Willina Jennings, hello right back to you. And I'm sure hello to you back from everyone else here. That Harv guy, glad you're with us. Cherprit, hi all. Bosser 1123, glad you're here with us, folks. Glad everybody's with us. James, Laredo, Texas. Okay, so this was a funny one. I'm going to try to get a little better with my mouse. The wheel, if I move it a little too fast, it zips to the end. I've lost my place. I'm going to try to do a little bit better with that. But I've also got a couple of comments from folks that say, it's nobody can answer everything. Watch a lot of podcasts and whatnot. Nobody can answer all or say hello to all, and I feel bad about that. But nonetheless, you know what? If I don't get to your question or your comment or your hello or your thank you, just thank you right back. And I absolutely mean that. I go through all of these every Wednesday morning, and it is just a pleasure to hear folks look forward to it. That just makes my day. Okay, Christian Matchett. Howdy, folks. Anyone still have Christmas items on the shop table? He said sheepishly with 3 still pending. Yeah, I still have some over there. And I don't know. The front end, I'm just jamming. These are going to be great. And then it's like I reach a point, I'm like, I just don't want to work on these anymore. Not really, but yes. So, yeah, same here. Got some still on the table. Shipped some out today, hoping Postal Service is going to do it. They're great. I'm sure they will. But pushing it a little late because I started on some of these at the beginning of October. Uh, so let's see. Oh man, James. Well, I tell you what, when the man arrives, well, I'll let you know. I'd say when the expert shows up, we'll ask them the questions. How about that? But James, thank you nonetheless. Most appreciated. Let's see. Okay. And we just jumped to the end. Man, I'm already behind. I am already behind, y'all. Sorry. So let's see. Aiden Stump, good. Glad you're with us. Amazing Andrea. Always a pleasure. Everybody, it really is. Um, Aiden Stump, no, I don't think we can split the hides. I don't think so. Some of our hides we do have in smaller pieces. You can spin through the website and see, but I don't know that they're going to cut these in half. But that's a good thought, from us crafters. We don't really, it's hard to buy a full side. Well, I wouldn't say hard. It's just it can be a little expensive. Now, we're going to use it and love it, but still, that's kind of a chunk for us crafters because we're not really talking profit. That's not foremost on our mind. We spend a couple of $100 on a hide with a thought in mind that we're going to turn this into $1,400. That's not really our thing. I wish we could, but yeah, look for the smaller pieces. Yeah, but the 4 to 5 ounce water buffalo, I love that. I love that and use that all the time. Luckily, if you're not familiar with this, it's a relatively inexpensive piece of leather, and you get a pretty good size piece, and they're beautiful. I love it. Chromes typically don't hand sew, but this has got some good body to it. And I use them in a couple of our videos. Love them. Use them everywhere. Oh man, Jerry King. I'm sorry. I got a replacement order from Weaver Leather today. Originally ordered, got lost in the mail. I'm glad to hear customer service was outstanding. Bless your heart for saying that. That just, it makes my day, but it makes their day as well. I'll let them know that if by chance they don't hear it from me or my boss. So thank you for comments like that. That makes our day. We're struggling a little bit, working hard at it. Absolutely working hard at it, but we're a little behind, and I apologize for that. I had 2 videos lined up, but we're out of one of the items. One is getting started for around $100, and we can do it. We can do it. But one of the key items, we're out of stock, but it might already be back in. I think Sylvia said just a couple of days, and those will be back in. So we'll come back around to that. I'm starting to ramble. Anyway, let me jump over here. So, all right. So one of the comments, Dusty Corpse. All right, first off, that's great. But let's see. Okay, I used my girlfriend's moisturizer on my biker jacket. All right, out of the box. Did a really nice job. Glad to hear that. Here's the problem. I'm single now. As a leather crafter, I don't see the problem. No. Okay, thank you for that one because first thing this morning, I had to bust out laughing. Dusty Corpse, that was pretty good. Peter something, 3:30 a.m. in Siberia. Bless your heart. If you stayed up till 3:30 in the morning to watch this live, I cannot tell you how honored I am. In fact, a bit humble on that one. And let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, not Peter something. Mr. Wind. Mr. Wind. And I complain about our weather, right? But Siberia, I'd love to see the open vastness forests of Siberia in the summer. Yeah, in the summer, because that's cold. I don't know if I can deal with that cold. Southern boy. Yeah. So anyway, let's see. Joe Schmo, 1962, a good year. No fails for me because I used Chuck's casing and dip dye techniques. I'm glad to hear that. My biggest fear is that I put out a tip that I'm not 100% confident with. I haven't done it yet, and working really hard to keep that from happening. But I almost in the back of my mind feel like it's a house of cards. One tip that's not great, and this whole thing's coming down. Everybody's going to figure out I'm just a hack with a camera. One of my biggest fears. So anyway, y'all, thank you for that. That boosts my confidence immensely. Let's see. Okay, Tobias Williams. I hope you're with us this week. Toledo, Ohio. Kevin Armstrong, Westville, Oklahoma. Glad you're with us. Mad Hatter. Okay, if you have time, can you give your opinion on leather bum with atom wax versus Angelus acrylic finish? Good timing on that one. Okay, so I was going to do Angelus dye, and we're going to talk about this for just a second because it's new. I haven't used it yet. So I was going to do a leather element just on the Angelus die, but then I started looking at our product page, and we've got a satin finish, I think a gloss finish and a deglazer. So I emailed my boss. I said, I really need to do all of this. Let's just do it. Like a tour of Angelus in one leather element. I mean, she said, well, we're gonna put these on sale. I think in January. Don't hold me to that, but I think we're gonna do a special in January. She said, why don't you just hold off? Go ahead and order these items. Hold off on that. We'll do that one maybe after the first of the year. But the point with this, I am dying to try some of these. I haven't even cracked these open yet, but we've got turquoise, rose. I think we've got 10 colors. I think we've got 10 colors. Blue, honey. I cannot wait to try this out. Anyway, so good timing on that question. Good timing because we're going to have that up hopefully within the month. And I'll give you just a straight, you know what? Here's my opinion. Let's try them. We're going to probably do the same thing we did when we did the comparison between, what is it, the pro dye and the water-based dyes. And you know what? I was kind of surprised with the water-based dyes. I was surprised with the outcome. So anyway, coming up, but thank you for putting that in, Mad Hatter. Let's see, Douglas Etter, Northeast Ohio. X-Man, 121.71, Tampa. I hope it's pretty down here. It's just awful here. Awful. It's probably low 40s, mid 40s maybe. It's drizzly, rainy, overcast. All the leaves are off the trees. It's just total winter. A lot of us have white Christmas. We just have wet Christmas. But this drives me to want to get a hot cup of coffee or cocoa, hot chocolate, hot cup of tea, tuck my butt in my shop and make something cool. I mean, it's like the weather conspires to put us in our shop. I love that. I hope y'all feel the same way. Let's see. Jan Law. We haven't heard from Jan. Jan was with us right up front. Let's see, just got in from work and got the notification. Almost forgot it's Wednesday. Jan got a new job, and I hope it's going well, but had a really rough day, but now I can see all those related stuff falls away. I'm so glad to hear that. I almost feel the same way. I have to concentrate so much on this. All the other, I was going to say a bad word, but it goes away. We can talk and chat and laugh and ask good questions. I can answer some of them, but on that point, you know what? Please, if somebody puts a question up there and I don't get to it, everybody feel free to toss in your opinion because that's what it's about. Absolutely. If you're new, again, if you've got 4 leather crafters in a room, you've got 8 opinions and you're going to hear every one of them. That's exactly right. I say that jokingly, but it's great. When you get together with leather crafters, the conversation doesn't have a bit of air in it. That's exactly right. So anybody put your comments in if you see something I didn't get to. My response is thank you for helping out. Thank you for helping out. I can't get to every one of these. So anyway, okay. Okay, here's one. Kinsey Shankles. I won one of the giveaways. I'm so excited for her. I'm dying to hear what you got. Let's see. We've got the sleigh bells, the quiver, and the wood carrier. They're the ones actually made in the videos. Oh, I hope they hold together. And they should. They should. But in the videos, when we're in our shop, our mind's on our project. That's what we're doing. But when I'm shooting a video, my mind's kind of on where'd we come from? What do I need to say, include, talk about, discuss, where am I going from here? And I'm trying to make the project on top of that. Rivets, I'm sure they're set well. I'm sure, but it's always if that product or project's going to someone, my first thought is, oh crap, I hope it holds together. I hope it's right. I hope I didn't make any mistakes. So anyway, I'm dying to know. So Kinsey, you got to let us know what you got. I'm dying to hear on that one. So very cool. M. Nichols, upstate New York. Let's see, Mary Beth, Jason Morris. Oh man, less flap, more strap. I kind of forgot about those because I wanted to, include those in the videos because it's lighthearted point, let's keep the videos light, fun, airy. It's just really hard to find rhymes and synonyms that work for wood carrier or snake belt. There's very few of them out there. And I have tried. I've gone on to synonyms, and tried to cut. I'll see if I can't come up with more of those because those are fun. And That's the point. I've watched a lot of videos where it is just it's such a droll and dull, and I'm not knocking anybody by any means. The information they're passing along is great. Absolutely. I just want, let's have fun with it. That's the point of this. We're not production people where we've got to do 500 zippers by 5 o'clock. Let's have fun with it. And that's what I'm hoping, that's what I'm hoping for. I absolutely am. So, Mateo P, I would love to be your apprentice. And let me tell you, I could certainly use an apprentice. The first thing we're going to do is clean the shop. It's not a mess. It's not, but does anybody feel like that in my shop? It's not a mess. But it certainly could be more organized. And I know where everything is. The problem is putting stuff back where it's supposed to be. That's what we should do. If we're working on a project, we pull out our mallet, we knock some rivets together. Well, we need to put the excess rivets back. We put the set. No, no, I'm not going to. Mind project, go. Right. Organize later. Or right. And the stuff gets back to where it's supposed to be. But if stuff's in its right place, I don't know where it is. I can't find it. If it's not on my work table, I don't know where. So now I spend 30 minutes walking around my shop, eventually get to where it's supposed to be, and then, do one of those. Oh, crap. I was organized for 2 minutes and it screwed me up for the rest of the project. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Kristen Matchett finally finished my Christmas presents. Got time to start cutting project for myself. Again, that's a fun point. That's a fun point. First off, the projects are done. Secondly, we've got great projects for folks, and that is a blast. There's so many wins there, right? Yeah, I know we've been over this, but it's all good. Literally, how many things in life are all good? Christmas gifts we made, not necessarily just Christmas, but gifts we make ourselves. Win, 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 all the way down the line. So, very cool. Let's see. Okay, Chris Gould. Chris, I hope you're doing all right. Just started to make the snake print belt and loving every minute of it. There we go. That's what it's about, isn't it? We talked about this last week, and I tend to rush through projects. I wouldn't say rush is the right, but I need to enjoy the stamping. My mind is on, wow, this is going to look great. Can't wait to get the stamping done because it's going to look great with the die. And then once I get the stitch line, it's going to look, I'm kind of missing the point. I'm kind of missing the point there. So Chris, I hope the snake belts come out beautifully, or the reptile belts. Yeah. So let's see. Okay. You'll see, right? Okay. So we don't really have many wounds. In the leather shop, we don't really deal with a lot of like planers, and electric equipment, things that will take something off, right? I got, nothing's fallen off yet. I can count to 21, and I want to keep it that way. Yeah, that one's going to take a second to land. The point here is this. We got a couple of comments last week that technically go to craft fail, but even beyond. Because I'd rather have a broken finger than a cut from a head knife or a round knife. Yeah. Cringe moment. Right, paper cut. Same thing. Okay, so Daughter of the Wild accidentally skived my finger today. Bled through 3 Band-Aids. Ow! Okay, so with a broken finger, why I say that is because that's going to heal and I'm going to forget about it. A bad cut, every time I look at that tool, I'm going to cringe because that's going to pop right first and foremost in my mind. We were at a show one time. And we were just, it's a show. You're unloading everything, and there was a round knife. We had some round knives that we were going to display, but I think the little cardboard had just when one of us set it down, probably me, not pointing fingers. Anyway, the cardboard piece slipped out. I reached to grab something, and man, that thing cut right into my finger. It's like I felt something bite me, right? Every time we set up for a show since, that is on my mind, and I cringe. It won't go away. It won't go away. All right, so let's see. Yamaha Biker. Drive my round knife down the side of my leg while wearing shorts. There's a scar on that one. Okay. So we'll do fail of the week. And let's just keep it there. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, okay. So back away from that, we're going to move on. Let's erase that. Safe Sapphire, Hungary, checking in again. Very cool. Glad you're with us. Hope you're with us this week. All of these are from last week. Okay, let's see. But I wanted to put this in. 55 V Dub. Very cool. I'm just retired and a longtime woodworker. My son bought me a belt kit last Christmas, and I've been leather working ever since. Sounds like you're having a blast. Leather and wood, they're so parallel. They really are. If you're a woodworker, you will slide right into leather, and probably vice versa. Mr. Wind, we got that one. Greetings from Siberia, coming back around that one. Yeah, I had to delete some of these, and I sorry about that. Let's see, Dave Robb. I've been waiting for 3 p.m. Wednesday since Sunday. I'm so glad to hear that. When I see something like that pop up, it just makes my day. So, very cool. All right, let me jump back over here for just a minute and get totally confused and out of whack. Um, oh man, Balster 1123. I mean, I saw armor, right? Okay, I just go straight to that. Not exactly Christmas, but does working on an EVA mock-up for my armor design count? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Not 1 out of 10. That's a 10. Absolutely. I hope that's fun and beautiful. I hope so. Um, Derek Puristi, hello back to you, friend. I hope I'm saying that right. Uh, I would cringe if anyway. Oh man, Sam Lee, cup of coffee at the ready. Thank God it's Wednesday. Hallelujah. Absolutely, man. We'll walk away from it for a minute because I thought we'd be done with this mess by now. Right. First rule of 2020 is we don't talk about 2020. Absolutely. I feel that way. Let's see. McCarlin Car. I hope I'm saying that right. Essex, UK. Hope you're doing good across the pond, friend. Come on in. Jason Morris. Hello, right back to you. Let's see. Douglas Etter. Hi, all. Snowing in Northeast Ohio now. Snow globe effect today. I bet it's pretty. Excuse me, just saying. We get enough snow for it to be pretty. You know, it's a and I remember growing up waiting for this, the crawl across the TV. What school's going to be closed today? Snow day. Anything is possible on a snow day. We don't get many of those down south. We really don't. But I bet it's pretty. I hope it's pretty, and I hope it's a beautiful snow. Sam Lee, fail of the week. Um, oh goodness, fail of the week. I tried to make my first bifold. Thought it would be fine without a pattern. Now I know not to make a bill without a pattern. I know it's tempting, isn't it? We're just cutting squares. Come on, how much do it? I know, I'm with you. The second part of that is it comes out great and you don't have a pattern, right? Yeah, that's probably more the fail. All right. Yeah, anyway, all right. So Victor Dennis, Cornwall, very good to have you with us, friend. I'm glad to have every one of us with us. Let's see. Okay, getting a little more solid over here. Jeremy Alexander, Texas. Let's see. Thomas Johnson, Austin, Texas. Austin, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Grew up in East Texas. Got to go to Austin a good bit. Let's see. Christian Lefevre. I hope that's right. But Portugal checking in. Everybody, I hope everybody's having a good day. All right, so let's jump back over here. So the theme this week, leather buttons. And everybody goes, what? Okay, so we're not going to do a lot on leather buttons here, but I wanted to bring it up because I'm working on a pair of the lace-up leggings for myself, and that's one of my options for a closure. Okay, so we've got a leather element, and if you just if you go to our YouTube channel and search creative leather buttons, it'll pop right up. And I don't even scratch the surface. There are and you're probably thinking, if you haven't seen it or thought of it, you're probably thinking of just maybe, putting some suede on an existing button. No, there are and it's like earrings. Once you get started, you can't stop coming up with cool ideas. So yeah, go to that video. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on that this week, but leather buttons, there is so much you can do with these. And again, I just scratched the surface and I want to do another one, maybe take it up a level. But so anyway, look for that video. It's a blast. There's all kinds of cool things we can do there. On that point, so we've got a video coming out this Friday, and I'm not really happy with it. I kind of was rushed. I've been very, very behind lately, and The lives kind of put me behind. I don't care. This is the funnest thing I do this week that is work related, right? Working for a living cuts in the middle of my day, right? Anyway, so I'm constantly a little bit behind. And the thing I hate most, and I hate this most, is doing a video for this Friday because I'm rushed. And I do my best not to, making the video, I try my best not to be rushed. And I still, in the back of my mind, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. We still got to edit. We got to render, which a half-hour video takes about 3 hours to render. Then I got to upload it so that the folks, at the mothership can see it. That's probably another 45. And then if it's okay, and it usually is, luckily it usually is, then I got to upload it to server. That's probably another 2.5. So the point I'm getting at is if I'm finishing a video on Thursday, I am pushed. I'm going to be up till 11 o'clock trying to make sure that thing gets uploaded, right? So the point there is I try my best not to rush. The point there, we're going to come back around to that, maybe not, is that, okay, got a video for Friday. It's not my favorite, but it's a really good product. It's a light box. I'll go ahead and spill the beans on that one. It's a light box. And if you're not familiar with this, it's a box with a light in it, which obviously, Chuck, wow, thanks for filling us in there. But it's got a glass top. And if you've ever been in a print shop, the prep department, their whole tables are light boxes because they use that to line up registration. Anyway, what it does is we can trace from paper to paper. If you've ever, we try to do that. It's almost impossible if we've got a piece of copy paper. We want to lay a piece of paper on that, say we're creating a design. To try to trace that out is really imperfect and it's hard to see. A light box, you flip that on, you can't even see that top piece of paper. I mean, it's like that bottom piece is bright. Anyway, the point is the camera reads that thing like the surface of the sun. When I click that on, it blows out my camera shot. So I've got to reduce my ISO, my f-stop. I've got to reduce all that so far down that it looks like it's a blinding bright light in this light box that nobody can work on. It's not. Anyway, that's coming out this Friday. So the point I'm getting at with that, yeah, Chuck, come on, today, is that we're not going to release a video on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Yay. Okay, I'd like to, but yay. The point is that it gives me, I'm really going to work. I'm getting to the point. I know, today. The point is that I'm going to use the next 3 weeks. Now, they're a little broken up with the Christmas holidays and the New Year's holidays. I'm going to do my best to really slam some videos, some leather elements and some project videos. We've got the next project video lined up. Some cool. Now, and this point kind of comes up. I don't do a lot of wallets. Wallets, card cases, things like that. I don't do a lot of those. Let's go with, we can make a wallet, and I'm not knocking wallets because they're great. They're fun. Come on, we use them every day of our life. I just want to do something as cool as I can do, and let's explore, let's take this to the end and let's see what we can do with leather. To me, that's what kind of keeps me excited. What else can we make out of leather? And what else can we do on that project? Short of making a project look like a yard sale, where we put every technique and piece of hardware we know on one project. Looks like a yard sale or a garage sale, right? But less is more in my opinion. But anyway, so I'm really going to try to jam on some good projects and leather elements over the next 3 weeks. This gives me a little breathing room. So once we hit the first of the year, I'm ahead. I like to try to have at least 3 or 4 videos in the queue. That just subconsciously, I'm not rushing. Now I'm taking my time and I'm doing the videos right. Make the script. The prep time takes more time than actually shooting the video because I want good samples. This is what we're making, but these are all the ways we can go and all the ways we can decorate this. And here's variations. But I don't want to have samples for that. But it's hard to make, like 10 samples for a video. So I kind of tend to rely on samples we've already seen. Nah, sorry about that, but anyway, so the point there, long way around the barn, is that we should have some really good videos coming out at the first of the year, and I'm ahead, so we're going to have more good videos behind that. That's my hope. So anyway, let's see. All right, so we talked about the Angelus die, working towards that, using a light box coming up, working, getting a start for around $100, and we can do it. We can absolutely do it. So let's see. All right, I got every bit of that knocked out. Notes from the boss. Here we go. All right. So first off, first and foremost, we wish everyone a happy holiday season from everyone at Weaver. And I absolutely mean that. All 300 plus of us, if given the chance, they would say hello and happy holidays and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And wow, do we all want to get 2020 behind us? Also, okay, so we have 15% off on kits, on our kits. And I'm going to go into a rant here on kits. If you're new, on promo code North Pole. Cool. North Pole, and this is for a limited time, and you can find this on our website. But what I was going to say about kits, and I probably have said this before, kits are great. Well, okay, we get a project, but that's not really where I'm going with this. So with a kit, you get a kit, but really you also get a pattern. Now, I'm not talking about making these production style and selling them and copyright and all that. The point I'm making here is that we get a kit. So therefore we've got a project, but we also now have a pattern. So we can make the project in the kit. Now we know all the pitfalls, or we know where we can make changes. Or as we're making that kit, we're coming up with ways we want to make it, change it, make it our own, design it, right? So now we have a jumping off point for a whole new array of options. And we've done one. We've got the kit. So now we know how it goes together. So kits are great and typically relatively inexpensive. I love the kits, and I always have. So yeah, 15% off on those. North Pole is the code. Look for those on our website. Let's see. Okay. Tool of the week. Now, it's not really tool of the week because it's kind of more tools of the week. So we're going to talk about mallets. Okay. If you're new, one mallet, they all do the same thing. Literally all the way up to the most beautiful. We sell the Berry King malls, and I love them. We go all the way down to the poly. Now I'll talk about this here in a second. But the 11-ounce rawhide mallet is my favorite mallet, and it will do everything for us. Now, when we jump up to the big oblongs, like the 2-inch oblongs and 2-inch round ends, it'll do it. Absolutely. But you can tell you're kind of getting to the max end of its capabilities. The point is, this will stamp, this will tool, this will punch our end, round, oblongs. It will do just about everything I need. It's great for setting all our rivets. So all told, all the mallets and mauls do the same thing. This is great. Now, cost-wise, it's a little expensive. It's a rawhide. I've got this one 6 years ago. Now it's starting to show a little wear, blah, blah. This thing is still going strong. And I've probably used this in every video. Now, I'll jump over to a poly now and then. So budget, always an issue with us crafters. This is an extreme case. I bought this poly. I'm thinking I bought this in the 90s. And I'm not kidding. I bet I have set over 100,000 rivets with this. And I think I can say that with some confidence. Yeah, it started to curl a little bit there, but it is still going. It's still usable. I have tooled with this. I have punched with it. I've stamped with it. So the poly, if you need to go that route because of budget, go that route. You're going to get a great mallet, and it's going to last for years. You'll probably use that in very likely your entire leather career. Now, with those, I might say, try to stay towards the midsize because look at this big boy. Yeah, that's the top end of our mallets. Now, if you're doing nothing but 2-inch oblongs and you're setting copper rivets, then this is probably the way to go. But for most anything else, that's just going to be too big. When we jump over to our malls, and I love these, I tend to like about 1.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds. Look at this big boy. This is, wow, that is heavy. I think this is our 3 pound. I'm pretty sure this is the 3 pound maul. That is just, there's no reason to use this when we're stamping or tooling. We'll push the stamp right through the leather. But again, if we're bumping up to those big oblongs or English points, that's the way to go. But if you want to just do some tooling, and to me, you can absolutely use this by the handle, stacked leather handle. How cool is that? But I tend to hold my maul kind of around the head. To me, I just have more control because it's a round maul. It's very easy if we're stamping or tooling to kick our tool left or right. Now, this is ribbed. and I'm not going to go there. Anyway, it's ribbed, so it's going to catch the tool nicely. But if we're left or right, it's going to kick our tool and it's going to give us a really bad stamp. But by holding this around the head of it, I feel like I almost feel like I know exactly where that center is, and almost never have a tool kick off. It happens probably to the super pros. That's an amateur mistake. But to the rest of us, it just happens. But yeah, if you want to hold your maul up around the head, you'll be surprised at how much more control. But at the same time, I think this is the pound and a half. I'd have to look, but this is just right. The 1 pound to me, it's a little light. It's a little light for stamping and tooling, and particularly for setting rivets or eyelets or whatnot. So somewhere right in the middle on our mauls is a good way to go. Here's the point of this whole thing. They all do the same thing. That's exactly right. They all do the same thing. We've got a video out probably on mauls, if not two. So you could always jump back to that. But for the most part, they do the same thing. If you want to go with the poly, you are going to make a good purchase, and it is going to last longer than you remember how much you paid for it. So anyway, I like the rawhide. It's leather. It's rolled leather. Come on, But any way you want to go, your budget, if you want to go low end, you're fine. Just know that. You're fine if you want to go low end. So, okay, so we got that out of the way. And the stupid glasses. I had these. I lost my glasses like 3-4 weeks ago. How many lives have I done with my spare pair? Right, $9 down the drain. I can't work like this. Right. Okay. So anyway, okay. One quick short story. We're talking leather, but if you wear glasses, this is going to hit home with you. Okay. So I read this article somewhere, and we won't spend long on this, but this is funny. I don't even remember where I read the article, but a guy said he came home from work and he got a cup of coffee, sat down on the sofa, started reading the news, puts on his readers, he's reading the news, and something in his kitchen, something black, swoops through his kitchen. Okay, trick of the light, so I didn't see. Well, here in another couple of minutes, and I'm just paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly, something black swoops through this part of his living room. Well, okay, he saw this. He started to maybe, writes it off again. Something swoops through again. Okay, so now he's freaking out. Hair on the back of his neck standing up. So he gets up and he's walking around the house. He looks, sees nothing at all. Everything's fine. Well, he turns this way. Something black swoops again through the hallway. Something swoops over here a minute or two later. Now he's freaked out. So he goes out on the front porch. I'm not going back in the house until my wife gets home. And in fact, we're going to move. We're not even going to take the furniture. We're leaving. So he's sitting on the porch. His wife gets home. She walks up to the patio or the deck or whatever, and he says, "Baby, we've got a crisis." She said, "Well, you look distressed. Well, let me tell you, but before you tell me, baby, there's an ant on your glasses." So if that's ever happened to you, that's it. Yeah. So glasses. I spend my life looking for these in my phone. Anyway, okay. So we went on a rant off of leather there. But let me get rolling back over here because I am so far behind y'all. I'm glad to have everybody with us this week. Let's see. All right, let's see. Jerry Scrimshaw, Craft Bale Restored. I hope that's Jerry. Last week I told of ruining a tooled piece that I oiled and it went too dark. Yeah, right. Okay. Sprayed it with product called elbow grease. It washed the oil right out. I never thought about it. But mechanics are always dealing with oil and grease. That is funny. That could very well be a good trick or a good tip. Vanessa Kitty, I hope you're doing all right. Nice to hear from you. I'm hoping everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's having a good. Let's see. Okay, jumped ahead, but let me get back here. It kind of looks like most people have trouble with this. Most people have trouble trying to keep up. Oh no, Rick, crafter fail. On 2 different projects, I managed to install a strap facing the wrong direction. A quiver, something like that. Because our mind is that the front, we have to install that backwards so that when we flip it over, top grain is out. I do, Rick. I know I've done the same thing probably more than I want to admit. It just happens that way. Some things have to be installed backwards, and it goes against everything we've ever known, right? But then when we install it correctly, well, that's how it works. You're exactly right. I'm sure I could come up with 3 or 4 different things, and I'm trying to think. Seems like purse or bag. Purse or bag. I think somewhere along there that's a common issue. Let's see. Wayne Metcon. And now we are making wallets and shoes. Dude, I hope y'all are having fun with it. There's a comment, I think in here, I may have deleted it, and I'm sorry. But his a dad was talking about his son he was a leather crafter, and his son came in and started making something. Now his son's a fan. That's cool. The reason I say that is because to me, I don't know. Does it feel like there's a bigger connect between parents and kids now? Does it feel like that gap's starting to widen some? Um, so a place where we can come together, worth its weight in gold. It really is. I'm so happy to see things like that. That warms my heart. Uh, okay, Vanessa Kitty. Uh, oh man, Clevis pins. I'm not familiar, but I'll look that up. I'll look that up. Uh, oh man, Wayne Metcon, wife has just picked up pyrography and want to learn painting burning leather. Oh man, that one trick. I know I'm being so careful over here. Don't spin out of control. Yeah, because this will spin out of control. Um, I I want to get into the pyrography so bad, so bad. I had a customer in the past that did pyrography. Pyrography. It's kind of hard to say, but he would melt different colors of wax and work them into the pyrography. It was, and I say this because it was one of the most beautiful things in leather I have ever seen. Like I think it was a dragonfly, and so he worked in graduating colors of green to blue on the tail and the wings. I mean, it was one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. I've always wanted to sit down and give that a try. Dive in, dive in. We've got a great set, and it's got the iron, and I think it's got a letter set with it, or you might be able to buy the letter sets separately, and it's got like different shapes, like geometric designs that'll come in that you can burn with too. But it's got multiple tips and points specifically for that reason. So look at that. I'm dying to get up to speed on that so we can do a leather element. The second one is the foil stamping. We've got a foil stamper that's our level now, not pro shop level. It's for us. And it's right over there. It's still in the dadgum box because I haven't pulled this thing out yet. That's actually on my board to try to jump into that over this, over the Christmas season here. So I've got stuff I just don't get to. And I just don't get to stuff. Um, I joke that I spend 8, 9 hours a day on the Weaver side. I break, I go upstairs, get a cup of coffee, read some news, watch some TV, eat dinner. Then I come back down and then go to my side of the shop. So it's not like I don't have shop time going here. Um, I tend to see small shiny objects and get off point. Does anybody do that? I mean, on my phone, right? So I come down to set up, or I eat lunch like 12 to 1, and then I come down 1 o'clock, hard setup. Already done all my prep, start setting up for the live with the camera and the lighting, and get everything set, get my script printed out. So it takes about an hour to get set up. The point I'm working at here, it is off base. It's probably not even interesting. But with my phone, I set it to like 60. At 2 o'clock, I'll set my phone at 30 minutes, and then I'll set it at 15 minutes, and then I'll set it at 10 minutes, and then I'll set it at. The problem there is that I'll wander off. I haven't yet. I haven't yet. I've been here right at 3 every time. And in fact, my watch never is a help. I fear that I'm going to just wander off. And 3 o'clock is going to come and go. And at 3:45, I'm going to have one of those oh crap moments. You might have those that it is literally a sheer 2 seconds of panic. I've forgotten to do something. I've forgotten to be somewhere. I've forgotten to be in a meeting. We have a meeting every other week at 2. Yeah, so every other week, every off week at 2:05, I say, "Oh crap, panic, run over to my calendar." Organization. Yeah, that's the key. Blah blah. Okay. All right, so let's see back over here. Let's see, we've gone through everything and it is 3:45 already. It's like working on a project. I don't know where the time goes. You know what? Okay, and I did this one time. We were waiting to go on vacation. And this was before the days of COVID, we could fly. Well, this was like 20 years ago, actually. But the point is, I can't wait. I can't wait. And it's like 5 hours before we're packed. We're ready to go. Got 5 hours before the flight, before we need to leave to go to the airport. I sat down and started. My thought was, well, let's work on a leather project because that'll make the time go by faster. We were almost late leaving the house because that 4 hours just flew by. And I've done that several times since. I could come up with, if I took a minute, let the squirrels, The point is if you really got something you're looking for and you got some dead time in there, work on a project because the time will fly by. And we probably all feel that in our shop. Sit down, at 7 o'clock. I need to start working towards bed. Got to work tomorrow. I need to start working towards bed about 10. It goes from 7 to 9:59 in what feels like about 8 minutes. We're having fun. You know what? If we're having fun, that's the point. And you know what? That's the way it is. Oh, my phone's ringing. Uh-oh. And it's just going to keep ringing. Oh, it did because somebody forgot to turn down the phone volumes. Right up top, turn phone volumes down. That's just a list. Blah, blah. I don't need that. Yeah, just like I don't need a pattern, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to try my best over here because we're working towards the end already. Well, no, we're not. No, we're not. We're going to go until we're done. Oh, let's see. Okay, Caleb Williams. If you're responding to Rick, obviously a fail. Let's see. I've even started putting on my double caps upside down so that I don't damage anything, removing rivet heads. Oh man. Okay. Oh, Patrick, bless your heart. Man, I almost want to say, no, you don't. No, you don't. Bless your heart. That's the best compliment. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Okay, yeah, let's see. Okay, Noah, good comment there. Yeah, on leather braiding, that's almost a whole industry all to itself. Some of these shows, I see some of these braided pieces beyond what I think I will ever be able to accomplish, but they nail it. Wow. And there's so many options I love the edge lacing. Love it. I don't because I don't It's wow, is that tedious. Love it. But I mean, it can take like 3 hours to do 24 inches. I mean, you go an eighth, you back up an inch. You go an eighth, you back up an inch. You go, wow. Not to mention, it's hard to break a basket weave. So you're dealing with like 9 feet of lace, and you got to pull that through every time. And then you got to weave it in there and pull it through every time. Love it. Just don't do it. And two, in my opinion, edge lacing tends to come apart soonest. One piece breaks, and now you've got this piece hanging off. There's almost no way to fix one broken piece. I love the look of it, but it's incredibly tedious. And to me, it's the first to go on a project. It's the first to go. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, Vanessa Kitty. All right. So responding to Wang, I've been covering round metal handles lately. All right. My punches now have leather wrapped handles. It's so much easier to hold the punches. And that's exactly right. Make the tools comfortable. A lot of the videos, and I get a lot of questions on this, and I'll tell you why. I wrap a lot of my stamp tool handles with gauze, and then I'll tape it just because it's more comfortable on my hand. Some of these stamp tools, I mean, they could have like a 3/16 inch handle. It's hard to control. Therefore, it's hard to get a good stamp with it. And it's hard to get that mallet to nail that stamp every time. So if you wrap your handles in gauze, then it makes it, and especially too, if you have some kind of an ailment with your hands, wrap that in gauze, make that thing comfortable. If it's comfortable in your hand, your outcome is going to absolutely show it. Now, I started doing that because there was a company I used to buy a lot of my leather from. They were a saddle company up in Chattanooga. Loved the owner, loved everybody. It's a leather company. Literally everybody in the building is friendly. Um, but they had two full-time toolers, and I mean, they had some nice cords. Let me tell you, it was a piece about this big, but it was angled. Wow. Anyway, they had tool racks, hundreds of tools on each of their desks, right? They tooled, that was their job, hand tooling. Anyway, the point there is that I noticed that they wrap the tools they use the most, like backgrounders or bevels, they wrap those with gauze. That's why I started doing that. That's exactly right. So yes, make the tools comfortable. If you need to pad them, absolutely. If you need a sports tape, is great for tools. I I have all kinds of things on my tools. Some work, some don't. I could take them off, but I usually do. I'm not that bad about it. But yeah, that's exactly right. Make the tools comfortable for you. The outcome is absolutely going to show that. So rant there, but I hope that helps. The gauze is a nice touch. Uh, you'll notice though as you use it, as you press down, it kind of tends to bundle down at the bottom. Well, that's a bad habit. That's me. I maybe I'm the only one doing that. I hope so. Hopefully, I hear crickets on that. Um, but mine tend to work down. I can pull it back up. It's not any issue. Uh, oh man, we've got one, and I hate the hello from Russia, and I'd have to translate this over, and I typically do, but I have to do that for the next week. I really like your work. It's a pity that there are no subtitles in Russian. I too hate that. I hate that. I wish there were a way that this could be translated, easily, easily. And I don't yet know if that's possible. There's a couple of ways to do it, but they would be immensely tedious. Nonetheless, thank you for being here and gaining what you can from these. Exactly. So honored that you're here. Honored that you're here. And in fact, I'll bring your name up. I'll drop that into translation next week, so I don't botch it. That's embarrassing. But I'll say hello next week. So I hope you're with us next week. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, Wayne Mitcon, computer engineer from the 80s. LOL, retired 30 years almost. That's when a lot of us. Oh, Al Wenzel, thank you. There's some confidence for me. I bless your heart. Thank you for saying that. But Wayne, yeah, a lot of us get into the leather craft when we retire. Um, it's a great time to. Very inexpensive to get rolling. And funny thing, if you worked on a little leather, say in high school or Boy Scouts or somewhere along the way, you did a little leather work, it's going to come back to you in a snap. It doesn't change. And that's one of the things I've noticed about leather work over the years is if you drop out and come back because I did. Uh, let's see, I worked in college. I worked at a Renaissance fair. So, but somewhere out of college, we get out, we get a job, we're partying, don't have time for leather work. We're going to a bar tonight, you kind of drop out of it for a couple of years. And I did that. I can't honestly say I dropped out for a long time, but the point I'm trying to make is that when I got back into it, nothing changed. There's exactly the same tools I was using. Now, maybe on the stamp tools, the impression changes. In the 60s, we were doing mushrooms and elves, and things like that. But all told, um, the main tools, they don't change. They don't change. And there's the King Museum in Sheridan. They have three racks, and you've probably seen the gun handle shaped strap cutter. It's old school, high quality. I've got one. I don't typically use it. The point here is that they have three big display cases of these tools, all the same tools, and they've got a little tag, so and so 1880 or 1845. That tool has not changed in 200 years. Exactly the same tool we were using in the early 1800s. So, yes, if you step back into leather, you're going to be amazed at how fast you pick it up and springboard onto a million great things. So if you're new and you did a little leather work way back, You're going to be surprised. But the cool thing is that gives you a little bit of a foundation, a little bit of a confidence, a little bit of confidence. So when you dive into it, the possibilities explode. And that's what I want to do with the videos. There's so many options. There's so many possibilities of projects. We can make the basic stuff. Absolutely. Have a good time with it. Love it. Make it great. Let's explore. Yeah, right, right. Let's explore. And even the earrings, that was, I saw a comment. I don't remember if I read it or not, but someone had talked about starting to make the earrings and couldn't stop because there's so many ideas pop up. That's just one point. That's just one point of the thousands of projects and products we can make with leather. Jumping off points to so much great stuff. All right, so enough of a rant on that one. Absolutely. Um, yeah, Wayne. Again, yeah, these crafts are so rewarding. It's something to fill your time with being constructive. Another point there. Oh, Dave Messenger. Bless your heart. I'll read your comment. I'll research that. I still have time to reshoot a little bit of this video before it releases Friday. Anyway, okay. Back to Wayne. This is funny, and I've done this lately. We can spend an evening watching TV. What a waste. All right. At the end of watching 3 hours of television, I can't tell you what I watched. Right? Yeah. And what after 500 commercials, those are starting to irritate me. You know, if there's 2 or 3 commercials in a break, I'm fine with that. And I'll watch them. When they crowd 15 commercials into a break, I forget what I'm watching. We literally will change the channel because I forgot we were watching something and won't come back. Yeah, to their fail. Yeah, broadcast fail. Anyway, the point is, we can spend that same 3 hours in our shop and we know exactly what we did. Tomorrow morning, we have something beautiful that very likely we can wear that morning or that day. Or, you know what? We have something to look forward to in our shop the next night. You're exactly right. It's a great project, and I waste so much time. I really do. We're not going to go into that, but not about me. Not about me. Let's talk some leather. Let's see, Vanessa. Vanessa, light tables are handy. My drafting and inspections backgrounds use. That's exactly right. We don't think about those, but that's a good point because we all have these full-time jobs. Or if we're retired. Yeah. Anyway, the point is we have these different areas of knowledge that we bring into leather craft. I think the non-slip tape. Growing up, my aunt and uncle owned a finishing company here in Atlanta, big company, finishing leather, print finishing. So they'd take the sheets from the printer and they'd bind them into a buck or they'd cut them into boxes. So they were a print finishing. The light tables all over that place. And I worked for a printer sometime along too, and we did 4-color printing. Every prep person. So that was a little bit of knowledge that I brought over to the leather industry. Not that I brought that in. No, I didn't. It was already here. But I think non-slip tape, I can't remember where I used that, but I started putting that on my straight edges. Immediate hit. With me, I didn't invent it, but for me, that was an immediate hit because I immediately started making better cuts. Because as I would cut, like a straight edge with nothing on the back, metal slippery, as I'd cut, I'd start to fade left. And I was really having a hard time cutting a straight line. Well, a lot of us do. Non-slip tape, I've never had I've never had a straight edge fail on me. Never. And it doesn't really damage your leather. Now, if we're really pressing hard on a piece of wet leather, cased, or we're going to do some tooling, very likely that could leave an impression. But for the most part, dry leather, chromes, I've never had an issue with it. So, yes, we can bring this knowledge in from other areas that maybe nobody in the industry ever thought of because we never maybe worked for that role or worked in that position or that company. So, yeah, y'all look around in your day-to-day. There's certainly something that you can bring over. Let's see. Okay, David, yeah. Yeah, okay, David, that's exactly right. That's a good point. And, too, on these, and we're just not talking leather here, but if you've got a good point with the live, if something that would dress it up or help, The one thing is I would like to get a second camera and an external switcher so we can look at things, or screen share or something. It's not just this mug talking for an hour. Thank you. It's not tedious. Hallelujah. Thanks to y'all, that's not tedious. But I need to get back into that. So I've got kind of a break here. I need to probably not. Probably I've got a board, dry erase board on the set. I got lists on there. I'll look back and think, oh, I was going to do that a year ago. Yeah, the dry erase has been there so long. I got to use Windex to get it off. Anyway, we got some good stuff coming up there. Yeah, I said that, because I forgot where I was. Yeah. Oh, okay. That Harv guy, got to bring this one in. Use light table back in high school learning commercial design. I bet. Not strong enough to hold a 150-pound kid, though. I bet. Okay. We know how that went. Yeah, and right. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Pete Morrissey, let's see. Help, please. I saw that just came right to. There are so many different coatings, coverings, finishes, conditioners, and edge finishes that I'm completely confused. Okay, in what order, in what situations, at which stages? Pete, here's the thing. A lot of them, it's like malls and Mallets. They all basically do the same thing. All right, so conditioners, they kind of will add a little wax or maybe a little oil back into the leather. Finishes, not technically a conditioner, but again, they're very likely going to have oils or maybe some waxes in them. Top coats, they are more aesthetic. Well, technically, leather balm is kind of a conditioner because it's got some good wax. It's a good top coat because it's got a good gloss to it, low gloss. Man, they all. Oh, here's the point. Here's my opinion. I find a top coat that I like and I stick with it. I find a dye that I like and I stick with it. Antique, same thing. The point is you're going to find something that you like and take a stab. Like from the lives. I love the leather balm. Okay, that's my go-to. And it wasn't. For years, I used the Sadillac. But I had to come up with something for the videos that didn't require as much ventilation and didn't require as many tricks to get it to work right. Leather balm, man, you put it on, you buff it off, and it looks great. It's almost a no-fail. So, Pete, man, I tell you what, try one, pick one, maybe it my opinion. And then once you get one nailed down that you like, then kind of maybe experiment out a little bit. Maybe, something new comes on the market, pick one up, try it. It may be your go-to now, or it may go on the shelf and you never use it. Pete, it's an age-old problem because, yes, there are so many out there, and we get samples all the time. And a lot of them, gold star to the salesperson or the company because they're making a great product. But the problem is it does what 7 other things we already carry do. Yeah, it is what it is. And now with me, I shouldn't be like that. That's good advice. Do as I say, not as I do, kind of a thing. And I don't mean that the point is I don't do that. And I should, in my position, I should grab every bottle I can find and try it. I kind of do, but then I'll look at it and think, well, that doesn't do what the leather balm does. Or maybe it's harder to apply, or it doesn't have the gloss I like, or any one of 10 things. Leather balm nails it for me. Pro dye nails it for me. Weaver, the Fibings Antique nails it for me. But I know these are going to work. I don't want to experiment on a project. Now I can absolutely experiment on scrap. Yeah, and do. But if these new products don't do what I want them to do, then I'm not going to use them. But that's just me. The other 9 people in a room of 10 people may pick those up and absolutely love them. What I can do to help is try them and let y'all know if it's great. If I like it, no. Let y'all know what it does. Right. I broadcast. This is funny. In college, I literally, and this is evidently different nowadays. In college, I could not tell you what the political leanings of were of any of my professors. That wasn't a point. We were news. You don't have a side. You give the news. That's the end of it. Evidently, that's changed. But that's what I'd like to do with the videos. I don't have an opinion. Here's how it works. Does it work for you? Do you like that gloss? Do you like a higher gloss, or do you want some wax in it? Do you like an easy application or buffing? Or do you want to, go through a couple of tricks to get the satellite to work just right? Because when it works just right, you can top coat a 3-foot piece in 20 seconds and walk away, and it's beautiful. It's consistent. It's low gloss. It's going to last, but there's some tricks to doing it. So with my videos, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do my best to just, and I hope I'm doing this now, but I want to maybe put a little more thought to it, that it's a straight, here's how it works. If that works for you, great. If it's not, we'll do it again and we'll find another one that works for you. So Pete, good comment, good question. I don't know if I got you a good answer in that mess or not. I might say pick one and work with it. And if you don't like it, move to another one. Luckily, and there can be some expense here, and I'm not, but luckily most of these are in 4-ounce bottles. So, $4 or $5. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, maybe somewhere down the road, it is something that you can use on a project, but if not, if not, and you spent $5 on something you love, well, the $5 you spent on something you don't love, it's part of it. It's part of it because I got where I want to be. So I don't know if that's helpful or not even. Yeah. Please ask a question when I can be of absolutely no help whatsoever. Okay. Shakib, let's stay there. I don't want to mispronounce your name. That's rude. What to do with leather scraps? How big pieces to keep and how small to throw away? I don't throw. Okay. If it's a small 1/4-inch strap that I've cut, like if I've overglued, I'll toss it. Smaller pieces like this, I probably will toss them. But the point there is we can use little pieces like that, like to put our glue on, or to test an ink color, or to rest our dauber on. But okay, with me, about every 6 months, I'll dump out my scrap bin and I'll find all these little pieces of leather that I don't even know they're there. Right? I get it. So we pay for it. We're going to keep it. We're going to use it. Man, that's a tough call. It's a tough call because in our mind, I can always use that piece of leather. I'm going to make a key fob. I mean, a piece of leather like that, I can make a key fob out of that. I don't. It goes in my scrap bin. Man, I can't really answer that one because it's kind of relative, but straps, typically, because we always use straps like, 1-inch, 1.5-inch straps. Maybe we cut an end piece off to make a belt. Absolutely, I'm going to keep that. I wish I could give you a better answer, but it's kind of relative to all of us because our scrap bins fill up with the best, idea that I'm going to use that leather. And I don't. I end up throwing part of it away. Sort of kills me. But by that point, it's so far back, it just goes in the trash can. So, man, okay, see if this helps. I really keep 2 bins. I really okay, 3. I've got one for chromes. I've got one for veg. So basically, I've got 2 for veg. I've got one I call a usable scrap, and I've got one I call a non-usable scrap. I don't really label them. That's kind of just how it filters out. But I'll go if I need a little something this big to put some glue on, or a little bridge we're not going to go there. That's in a video. I think the credit card case. Anyway, I can go over to that one to pull out leather that I know if I don't use it, I'm going to throw it away. So see if the 2 bin system works for you. It seems to work for me. So, Yeah, okay, so oh man, it's already after 4. Did it just go from 3:45 to 10 after 4 in like 2 minutes? I was gonna look down and it's like, "Oh, we still got plenty of time. We still got plenty of time." My hot breath is what's pushing these out, isn't it? Um, okay, let's see. Don Lapham. Okay. I had a poly and tried to stamp with it. I had to hit the stuff pretty hard. Upgraded to the 11-ounce rawhide, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it works. Don, sounds like it's on the way. I think you're going to be really happy with it. I think so. Um, Yeah, okay, Aiden Stump. All right, there we go. There we go. There's an opinion other than mine, right? Okay, so Pete, if you're planning to dye your own veg tan leather, I recommend acrylic Resolene to seal the dye so it doesn't rub off. That's a good one. There's a good opinion. So yeah, so you're getting opinions from people, you know what, that know what they're doing, that already work with a project or a product. So there we go. That's a great way. And Don, thank you for putting that in there. Absolutely. Every comment. Um, oh, I'm sorry, Don. Aiden. Sorry, Aiden. Thanks for putting that in there. Um, but Don also too. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you love the rawhide. I do. It's a great mallet. It does everything for us. So I know I'm starting to get a little hoarse. Me doing all the talking. I wish we could all do the talking. Um, yeah, we talk of like a go-to meeting or whatnot, but that would probably be a mess, wouldn't it? Because we're leather people. We like to talk. Um, yeah, oh, Vanessa. LL Harb. LOL Harb, yes, the print shop equipment are not seats. Well, it can be. They can be if you're 15, right? Yeah. Um, okay, let's see. GTL 5427. Glad to have you with us. It's a new one there for me. And Leo Wild, greetings right back to you. Let's see, just started. I hope you're having a good time with it. After I oil and dye, what order should I apply Resolene wax to the veg tan? The the Resolene is probably going to resist the wax. Man, that's a hard one to call because again, with me, and I can just toss out mine. Work it backwards. Assembly, top coat, antique, dye. And that's it. Absolutely. Because I know my dye is going to do what I want it to do. Same with my top coat, my antique. Um, so a lot of times the steps in the project is the key to the project. Yeah, we all know that, right? We all know that. I would say experiment. And take a little bit of scrap, maybe 4 or 5 scrap pieces, and do this in 4 different sets of steps, and just see what works for you. Because the oil, man, I just don't like using the oil. It's such a problem child. Best thing ever for the durability and longevity of the leather. It just resists everything. Literally, it resists everything. Man, I don't want to tell you to hold off on the oil because it sounds like you got your first steps nailed down for you. Um, oh, Thomas Johnson, now we're fooling. I'm not fooling. Now we're tooling. That's a good one. That's a good one, man. Um, GTL, to experiment a little bit. But at the same time, if you come up with something new, let us know. Let us know. Because yeah, you can help out a bunch of people. Uh okay, let's see. Oh, I'm so behind here. Y'all, we're gonna start working towards wrapping it up, which means we're gonna keep going. Yeah, anyway. Um oh, let's see. Ahmed Shine. I'm glad you made it in with us, man. Very cool. Uh uh-oh. Oh man, I lost the Don Lapham. I missed the first half of that, but it does. Yeah, don't. That one sounds like it's got a bit of. Um, yeah, okay, Vanessa Kitty. This is a good point, and I failed to mention this. Um, okay, so a dead. Oh, I just lost it. Rubber mallets, dead ball mallet. I'm not big on the rubber, and here's why. Because you that's exactly right. Very good point. a double bounce. And I don't necessarily want that. Um, Metal too. And I can tell you, I've got a setter over here. We've looked at it. I've got a rivet setter that I used for the first 10 years that I was in leathercraft. And I used a hammer. I didn't know any better, or that's what I had. Man, that thing mushroomed from this long to this long. I mean, it literally looks like a mushroom. So a metal hammer is going to tear up our tools. But secondly, we might have a flaking issue. I've never had that problem, but metal to metal, very likely. But the bigger point is we're going to ruin our tools. That's what we don't want to do. They're going to mushroom on us. Yeah, and the rubber mallets, you can use it. I just don't want that double bounce. And if you use a rubber mallet and then you jump over to a solid mallet, like the rawhide or a poly, you're going to see a big difference. It's a very solid, almost a controlled hit that you feel like you're confident. That's going way off on that, but it's kind of is the point. But yeah, so give that a try. All right, Jailer 23044. Hello, right back to you, friend. Glad you're with us. Yeah, Nile. Is that Nile Taylor? You're exactly right. Yeah, the CS Osborne, it's a little expensive, but again, the tools are going to last. And I've always heard about CS Osborne. And we sell CS Osborne punches. We've got the rounds, and I think we've got English. I think we've got English and round. I'll have to look. I've got CS in my shop and love them. I tend to kind of move more towards the master tools. Just that's our brand. That's our brand. But CS Osborne, old school name and leather with super high quality. Can't say enough about CS Osborne. Absolutely. Yeah, okay. Jailer 23044. Let's see. I picked up a couple of larger size arc punches, and they were dirt cheap. Yeah, eBay can be a good way to go. You just because there's so much crap out there, and I'm not even going to hold back on that. There is some crap out there. We got some stamp tools as samples, and I don't know. I wasn't trying to, but I could bend these with my hand, and I mean I didn't have to struggle to bend these with my hand. What metal is that weak, right? So yeah, you know what, Call Weaver? We've got no problem because right. There's a firewall there, and here's one of them, right? So, yeah, we've turned away a bunch of stuff that just wasn't up to our level, and that's exactly right. So call us. We'll take care of you. We'll do our best to take care of you. Yeah, and Sam Lee, you're exactly right. I'm happy to spend the money on the quality. That the mechanics. That's exactly what mechanics say. You know what? The quality of the tool makes the job. Spend the money on the tool, you'll never be disappointed. I've got a good friend he was a mechanic and now he works for a racing company. Cool job. Let me tell you, I got to ride in one of these race cars. It was the real thing. I didn't do well. I did not do well. That was violent. And I have a new respect for race car drivers. Wow. Wow. Okay. Anyway, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, man. I want to just sit here and keep reading. Great comments. Oh, okay. MP Burge. Good one there. Yeah, okay. Yamaha biker, that the power transfer. Another good point. Y'all are making some great points. I almost don't want to cut off here because we've got good information coming through. Information that every one of us I'm learning stuff here. This is great. Yo, okay. So anyway, all right. So we're gonna wrap it up for this week. But next week, I'll be back next week, 3 o'clock. I was kind of worried about content today. Sometimes about 3:40, 3:45, I might have a little panic, one of those. Oh crap, we don't have enough. Y'all, thank you for making that never even an issue. And I just got to keep in mind, I just got to prepping for these stress. Do I have enough? Do I have the right? Is it good? Same with the videos, but evidently it's not an issue, y'all. And thank you for that. Yeah, Vanessa Kitty, good tips. Um, let's see, Yukon 12 gauge shipping to Canada. We can ship to Canada. Oh, Jim Jenkins. Yeah, okay, Jim. Yes, a Zoom meeting. It'd be hard to do with like 108 or 50. That'd be a lot of little boxes, but nonetheless, I can't wait until we can all get together again. That's what this will hold us. This will do until we can meet each other face to face, and that's what I'm looking for. Because I would like to eat. Uh, back to mistake. Did you say steak? All right. Must be thinking dinner time. Anyway, I'd love to meet in person everybody here and sit down, cold beer, cold Coke, cup of coffee, something good to eat, and spend a couple hours just talking weather. I hope we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there once all this mess is done and gone. Um, yeah, okay. I sharpen my tools even from the one straight from the factory. Okay, yeah, that's right. The master tools, man, they come sharp. Whoa. I've never sharpened one of my English round or oblongs from the master tools. I love them. We talked last week about those. The cheaper ones are welded on, and that weld breaks probably 5 out of 10. Anyway, yeah, okay. So Bob Haney, we'll see y'all next week. I know, I know. Um, oh, dragons, milk, stouts all around. Vanessa, I will take you up on that one. I'm buying the second round. How about that? Sam Lee, a trip to the UK is on my man. That's on my bucket list. That's probably that in Scotland, Siberia, Italy, Africa, Australia. Okay, we'll be here another 20 minutes. All right. Um, yeah, all right, Sam. Yeah, we need to plan a trip. Y'all having a wrap. I know we're all the way up. We're on the way to 4:30. I don't care. It is a blast. What a pleasure, y'all. What a pleasure. Um, thank you so very much for every comment. Thanks for helping out. I can't get to every one of these and it makes me crazy. So if you toss in a comment or y'all, if you experiment with something, you ask a question, I might say, but experiment with that. And you come back next week and you got some outcome, let us know. You might save a new person a critical mistake. There'll be plenty of mistakes. We're going to make plenty of mistakes. But if we can miss one, hallelujah, and a big thank you for helping out. Y'all have a very good Wednesday evening. Everybody stay safe. Prayers and blessings to every one of you. Hello. Thank you. I can't say enough. It's a pleasure to spend time with you on a Wednesday afternoon. Have a good Thursday, Friday, a good weekend coming up. Christmas is on its way. It's been a pleasure. Y'all, good luck with your projects. Thanks for everything. We'll see you next Wednesday at 3 o'clock, and it will be my pleasure. Bye, y'all. Have a good evening.